Hey guys, welcome back to NYC Uncensored. Today we're going to be talking about a topic I think not many people ever really fully understand until like maybe near the end, or they just never understand it. But pretty much we're going to be talking about how to find balance between everything in life. I feel like this podcast isn't going to give you a clear answer. It's pretty much just about talking about our perspectives on it. And I feel like everyone's going to have a different input and different perspective on it because everyone's life looks different, and what balance looks like to everyone is very, very different. So I'm joined with Satini. So I'm Anika. I'm joined with Satini.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Satini.
Hello.
So pretty much I think we can just dive right in. I just have a couple of points. So I feel like with balance, I feel like what do you call it? Like a bad type of idea that people have with balance is that like you always have to be you always have to be doing something. You always have to be on top of your time management, which is something that's very admirable and something that I try to do as well. But I feel like finding balance isn't just in terms of like if you're in school and you really want to do well in studies, I don't think finding balance is just studying 24/7.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're not interested in school but you're still in school and you decide to like just go to parties or like not really value your education and the opportunities given to you, that's also not really finding balance. I feel like finding balance is when you look at all the aspects of your life and things that make you happy, making sure you set time aside for each of them so that you're not really bogged down by things you don't find interesting or things you feel like you're doing out of necessity, but you're also making sure that you have time to focus on your goals and work hard, because in the end it's going to always benefit you.
Absolutely. I think everything you said, how I think some people when they see balance, they're like, oh, like you said, like, oh, my marks and all that stuff. But in reality, it's also like everything in life would encompass like your hobbies, your job, school, even your mental health and stuff. I think that's very important. And for some people, even like when people say in a relationship, just an example, like you give 50-50 in a relationship or something. But like when it comes to yourself, I don't think there's ever like a 50-50.
Exactly.
Like you're not going to be like, oh yeah, I'll give 50% to work and then 50% to myself. It's like you as a whole is 100%, and some things are going to take more time than others. But I think if you prioritize your things properly, then that's finding good balance. Because for some people, balance might look like talking to a friend every day and still getting the work done, or going out here and there to balance out like your work stress and all that. So I think like you said, that balance looks different to everyone. And in this podcast, you're definitely not gonna find the answer, because personally, do I have balance? No. I'm struggling. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't even filled my social cup life, like, you know, so it's like,
man. Like, I feel like with school, I feel like everyone is very different in what they value. Like, I think I very much enjoy hanging out with my friends and stuff, but at the same time, I don't really feel as much value with going out with people as much. Like I'm very excited to see my friends at school, and that's definitely one of the main reasons I enjoy it. But at the same time, it's like I don't feel bogged down if I'm not going out or anything. Like I do like studying, but I feel like with me finding balance, sometimes I don't realize that I need to take a break, or I don't realize that like I feel like this has been recent because I have a bunch of assessments right now, but like I feel like, wow, I'm not bent out. I'm like, I'm grinding. I'm doing so much studies. I have so many assessments, but I don't feel sad. And then all of a sudden at like 11 p.m. on a Thursday night when I'm studying, all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, like I've just been studying. Like I feel like I haven't even breathed or anything. So it's like, it kind of creeps up on you. But I think you as a person, like for you individually, it's kind of your responsibility to make sure you're keeping in check with yourself and you allow yourself to kind of have some thoughts, have reflective ideas, and be able to see that, oh, hey, wait, when did I sit down on my chair? When did I start studying? And when did I get up? When did I have a break? When did I breathe? When did I walk? When did I talk to my family? When did I talk to my friends? Like if you have a dog, when did you last pat your dog? Like sometimes it feels like it's really nice to have balance. Like I remember there were times where I'd be like, I would only study for like 3 hours a day, and then I would pretty much leave the rest of the day to like work out, exercise, talk to my family, go out, talk to my friends, read books, do academic things, but in less of a because I have to, more of because I'm interested in it. Especially the podcast, that's definitely a really nice outlet for me. But I felt very much like, wow, I'm so imbalanced, and I feel really good about myself when I sleep. But then eventually I start getting out of that balance. And it's not something that, like, I feel like staying in balance is also something that you need to, like, focus on a lot. So it's like, how do you stay in balance when it's also taking away from you? So I think it comes with consistency and making it like a lifestyle and a habit and having that balance. But obviously it depends on what stage you're in your life, because like within year 11 and 12, to be honest, I don't really know anyone who's achieved balance or has that balance. I feel like everyone's pretty much studying, or they're just not studying at all. So it's really hard to, like, within each stage of your life, what does balance look like? Because only you as a person can answer that. But it's really, I think it's hard to understand where it comes from. But I think looking at or splitting up, I feel like a good first step is splitting up, like, what aspects of your life that you're really interested in would take some of your time out. Like, I do a bunch of extracurriculars, but obviously for different people it might not even be an extracurricular. It's just like you like to sing or you like to play your guitar, and that's something that's not really something that you're measured in. It's just something you do as a hobby, something you do for fun, to unwind. But if you don't let yourself have those times, even if they're not considered important, because there's no measurable outcome like with it, it's just something you do for yourself, you're not going to put value in it, and then you're not going to spend time doing it, and then you get in this infinite loop of, oh, I'm studying, and then I need to take a break, and then I'm burnt out, and then I don't study at all for like a week, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm so out of tune, I haven't done work for a whole time, and then you get burnt out again. So I think it's really important to have balance, because it makes sure that recycle doesn't keep repeating. But at the same time, it's really hard to stick to that balance.
Oh, yeah. Because life happens, right?
Exactly.
And so it's like one thing happens and then you kind of neglect the other. And then it comes to a point when, like, you could go months and months without recognizing, like, oh, I actually, didn't focus or prioritize on this other important thing. So I think, like what you said, I think reflecting, actually having that conversation with yourself, or just being open and being like, what makes me happy? And then, and am I actually happy and satisfied when I do these things? Because some people kind of mix up, like, they feel like they're happy, but then actually not happy.
Exactly.
And then kind of seeing, okay, where in my life, like, how important is this to me? Like, is this something that I want to be like, no, this is a priority. I have to go do this. And then kind of figuring out in your schedule, because look, we do have 24 hours a day, and I understand there's like work and school and stuff and life happens, but if it's a top priority and it's something that will benefit you, like mentally, physically or something, I think it's very, very important to just make time in your schedule to make time for it. Because I think for me personally, I think especially during this year and end of last year, I think work-life balance has been the best oh my gosh, can I speak? It has been for me, because I've been into, like, starting to get into, like, fitness and stuff. So I realized within myself, I was like, because, I did my vision board, I hopped on that bandwagon, and I was like, you know what, actually thinking about my health properly and doing these things, like, and it doesn't have to be like boring stuff. Like, people go, if you enjoy gym and stuff, but for me, it started off with wanting to, like, just get the body moving, thinking,
Exactly.
oh, like, this is very important because it's my body,
exactly.
like, health is very important, especially as you get older. And so I would do different things. I like go to the park, or I took up netball.
Oh, love it.
So, like, trying to find, like, health and fitness in different ways. And then that's what clicked to me. I was like, yeah, health is very, very important. It's something that I always talk about, like, to the young people and stuff, but it wasn't something that I saw in myself.
Yeah.
And then now that I've done that, I love it. Even if I do have plans, I always, like, if it's not midnight yet, I'm getting my workout done. I'm doing something, I'm moving my body. So, yeah, so I just want to share that, like, I think it's really important if you know, like, it's a top priority for you, then just making the time for it.
I feel like people don't realize, but like, yeah, if you're studying or you have this big assessment due or some bigger big event that you have to plan or something, 15 minutes isn't going to make or break it. Like, literally just stop, close your laptop, and like just start even for 2 minutes. And if you're like, oh no, I need to get back to work, then maybe you do need to get back to work. But like, if you just start, like, really 15 minutes in the grand scheme of like a day really isn't anything. I think something that like recently has been happening, like, I'm not saying this because I don't do it, I do definitely do it, but like sleeping on time is a really big thing. Like in senior schools, like especially the seniors, like year 11 and 12, I think with year 12 definitely there are going to be times where you have to stay up because you value like these grades where it definitely matter. But year 11, it's a trial run, and I don't think it's worth losing your sleep over. And in general, like, I feel like if you set deadlines and you're like, no, I have to get this done by this time, you will get it done by that time. But it's just not setting the right time limits and like structures to how you're going to finish your task, when you're going to get it done, is when you end up kind of going into the territory of, oh, this is taking up my sleep. And to be honest, I think sleep is so integral to finding balance, because if you're sleeping at bad times, you're going to wake up at bad times and you're going to miss out on the entire day. And then you feel like, oh, I've missed the whole day, so I really don't have time for that 15-minute workout that I planned in the morning when I woke up halfway through the day. So prioritizing sleep is something that you can do for yourself. Also on the point that Satini brought up, like working out and moving your body in less of working out, but in terms of moving your body, like, yes, working out and moving your body can be seen as something finding balance, but it should be something that you enjoy. Like, you shouldn't be working out to get like the perfect body, to get abs, or to like fit into what like a beautiful person looks like, because in the end you're never going to stick to it. It's not going to be something you enjoy, but you should find something that you personally enjoy doing, even if it's annoying in the moment, but like right after you're like, wow, I feel really good about myself. Like, that's me with Pilates. Like, I really I used to try get into like working out, lifting weights and stuff, and I was like, yeah, maybe I can work on my strength and stuff, but it didn't feel that interesting, and usually I would like leave the gym sore. And to be honest, it felt like such a hassle to like go to the gym as well, so I wouldn't go as often. But now with Pilates, it's like, I just have like a yoga mat in my room, and I just like listen to music, play Pilates, and kind of make it kind of a vibe, so that I separate myself from my academic life and stuff, and just have time to relax, to unwind. And yeah, it's really annoying in the moment. I'm like, when is this time going to run
I just want to say, I went to one Pilates class. It was the best thing ever, but also like, I've never been so in my life. I was stretching and crazy.
It's rough. Like, you don't realize it, but it's really like the second, like, even if you do it for like 3 days, you'll feel the difference immediately. You'll feel like, wow, I feel like, because technically you're not moving around, you're just in one spot, but you're moving your body, get your muscles flowing, you're letting your body still, like, even if you don't have time for a walk to go out, you're still letting your body kind of do what it wants to do, because to be honest, its job is to move you around. And obviously in times of like really stressful work, really stressful assessments, you're not going to give yourself that, but you should prioritize things that are important to you and will definitely, to be honest, I don't think working out will ever like not benefit you in the long run.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. So yeah, I think in terms of finding balance as well, like another point is definitely peer pressure, because like with this day and age, what balance is so different to everyone. But with technology, like, you see these Instagram influencers who like go to the beach every weekend, they post and stuff, and you're like, wow, that's them finding balance, and they're making like millions of dollars, and it's like, wow, they're rich, they don't have to do anything, that's them finding balance. But it's not really finding balance in application to your life, because obviously everyone's in a different life stage, everyone has a different life. So if you kind of get bogged down and like, wow, I've never seen this person work out, and to be honest, Instagram is just fake. Like, social media is so fake, you don't know what's real. So they can say, oh, like, I don't work out a day in my life, and they have the most beautiful body, or they like completely edit their body and stuff, and you're like, wow, then I don't need to work out. Like, obviously you should have the right mentality, and like, you shouldn't be working out to have that type of body. It should be to kind of feel good about yourself and feel like, wow, my body needed that. But it's so easy to just slip up on those thoughts and be like, wow, she's just so amazing. Like, I wish I had hair like that. Like, I wish I had like a body like that. I wish I had that much money. I wish I had those clothes. It's so easy to think about that. But even like your mental thoughts can kind of shift you away from your ability to find balance in life. So I think not even just like unreal Instagram models, but like your friends as well. Like if they say like, oh, I'm going to like so many countries, I'm like I have a job, I go out with my friends, I'm having a big birthday party, I have so many friends, I'm gonna invite like 50 of them. Like there's still a difference because their life is very different to you. And to be honest, it's very hard in this day and age, and especially this generation, to not let those comments go to your head and be like,
definitely.
Wait, if I had to invite people to my birthday party, I wouldn't even be able to invite 10 people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is it in your life, is it more important to have 3 really good friends, or is it more important to have 50 acquaintance type of friends that you can show on Instagram like, wow, I have so many friends? But are those meaningful connections really there? Because you can have 50 friends, that's fine. I'm not saying anything to anybody who has 50 friends. You must be a really good person to talk to. But like in application to your life, is it do you have at least 3 friends that you're close with and can talk to and help you find balance? Because there's no point in having 50 friends to show off on Instagram that I have like a big birthday party and then you're not really close with any of them and not a single one of them can help you find that balance.
Yeah. Literally everything you said. I think also something that's definitely gonna happen is that you have to go through stages in your life where you're like your life is just completely unbalanced for you to finally decide, oh, like, you know, I need to do this and this to balance out my life. And whatever that may look like to you, like we've been saying, it's different for everyone. I think if we all had balance in our life, I think life would be much easier.
Yes, if it was just like that, you could be like, hey, can I have balance now? It would be really nice. But like, I think the importance in finding balance is also the process in finding balance, because you also find yourself in the process of finding balance. I think it's really important. But like I feel like that pretty much, like, as a first step, I would say like journaling is something that helps me a lot, because even when you're mad or when you're happy or when you're sad, and like this sometimes affects my sleep, it might affect my sleep if I journal about it. Usually it just kind of, if it's something that's a bad or sad thought, it'll kind of just go out of my mind because I've written about it, I've expressed how I feel. But a lot of people don't do that, so it kind of pents up and they don't realize it until they're like, oh, like if someone says like, oh, your hair's really ugly, or like, oh, you don't look nice, it kind of builds up in their mind, and all that's literally all they can think about, and they might spend all that time on trying to change their appearance in some way. But it takes away from the other things that you could be putting your time in, because to be honest, like what someone else thinks about you doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't. And like I think finding balance is when you kind of are able to identify that and know that like, hey, it's my life, it's what I want to do, it's what I enjoy, I'm not doing it for anyone else. Like if you're into makeup, that's something that you can do to find balance as well. Putting time aside for things that you enjoy and that are able you to de-stress, but also are giving you your ability to unlock your full potential. Because I know there are so many people like who have such a big potentials or are able to or could achieve so many things, but they don't put themselves up to it because they just don't think they can, or they just don't understand how to balance everything, which is totally fine. But if you never put yourself in those situations, you're never going to know. So I think it's really important to like be able to separate yourself from super tough challenges, but also giving yourself the ability to face those tough challenges, because then you get experience and you're able to know, okay, this is what I have to do in this type of situation, so then those challenges don't become so tough anymore.
And even on the thought of that, I think journaling as well, when you, because you're obviously journaling like when you're having all these different thoughts, and then I think it's also a bonus that you can also reflect on some of the entries that you've written, and then also,
oh my god, I've read my diary so many times. So bad. Like it's like in the moment I'm like, yeah, it's very fair, but then I'm like, this is so cringe. If anybody found my diary, it's over for me. It's over for me.
But like exactly that, because sometimes you like, even if there's things about people there, and then like you might reflect and read back at it and be like, well, you know what, actually this person is adding a whole lot of no good to my life. So it's like reflecting and being like, are they someone that I want to prioritize in my life, someone that's adding happiness and that balance to my life. If they're not, then you kind of get the idea like, okay, what should I do now? But then if there's those happy thoughts, or like if you wrote sad things and then you see that you didn't implement your happy things to make you not sad anymore, if that makes sense, then you can kind of think, oh, I need to do this and that. So I think journaling as well is good for expressing yourself and putting your thoughts out into it, but also it really helps with reflecting on your needs, wants, and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like going on the point of like if it's making you sad, like recently, like I kind of separated myself from a friend group I was with for a long time, and that was a pretty big friend group. I would say we were really close. It was almost like 7-8 people, right? But then like near the end of it, I realized like I kept overthinking how the situations were with them. I kept overthinking our friendship. And to be honest, when I put it to the test and kind of separated myself from them, they didn't really make an effort to try fix it. So obviously, like, it's fine to be sad. It's normal to be sad. It's a normal human emotion. And I think it's healthy to be sad, right? And in those moments, you're going to be like, oh, I wish they would just appreciate me and talk to me instead of just ignore me. But in the end, I feel like I'm so much happier looking back on it in retrospect. Like, no matter how much I wanted it to work, I was so sad and I was so like in my mind and bogged down with the situation. I would like in those moments looking back, I would have been happier sitting alone than sitting in that group feeling alone, right? Yeah. So right now I'm really, really happy and I'm really content. But obviously those experiences were really hard. Like if I wasn't strong enough, or if I didn't put myself in that challenging situation where I kind of lost a lot of my friends, I would still be in that situation feeling unhappy and feeling not really safe, but just because I chose the safe option. But because I didn't, I feel like I'm so much more happier. I'm able to unlock my full potential because I don't fill up my headspace with things that don't matter. And to be honest, they do matter, but it's not worth your time. But obviously if it's such a big thing, it's going to take up headspace. It's just human that you're going to be overthinking these and thinking about them. But knowing when it's too much of your time going to waste, or too much of your headspace, or too much of your emotions leaving, or the bad emotions, or sad, like you're sad, you're angry, you kind of need to know, okay, is this worth my time? Is this something that if I talk about it, if I communication is also a really big thing. If you talk about it, is it going to solve it? Or is it really just about the fact that people have grown apart and it's time for you to realize your worth and your value? Because I think that's very, very important in finding balance as well.
Very, very important. Damn.
Yeah, that was
nothing else to add.
I know
to
that was a deep conversation.
But
I feel like finding balance is such a big thing. Like we could have like 50 million podcasts on this topic because every single podcaster would have something else. You as listeners will also have so many different inputs. So if you have any inputs, just message us on myc_uncensored on Instagram. But I feel like that's a really nice way to wrap it up. Just make sure you guys value yourself, find value, make time for the things that you enjoy. This would have probably been a really long podcast, but we can even it's too long, we'll split it up. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode. You can follow us or find us on Spotify at mycuncensored or on Instagram at myc_uncensored. Bye guys. Bye.